मेरे प्रभु को लिंक चाहिए, लिंक Hare Krishna, everyone. So we will start with a small prayer. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, you are audible.
So we'll start with small prayers. Regular link okay. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we'll start with, so yesterday we completed till 1.10.9, 1.10.8. Today we are starting from 1.10.9 and 10. Okay. Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Virat, Tanaya, Tatha, Gandhari, Dhritarashtrascha, Yuyutso, Tamo, Yamo, Vrukodarascha, Dhammashcha, Triyo, Matsa, Sutadaya, Nasahere, Vimyuhanto, Viraham, Shangavardhanaha. Translation. At that time, Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Uttara, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra, Yuyutsu, Kripacharya, Nakula, Sahadeva, Bhimasena, Dhaumya, and Satyavati, all nearly fainted because it was impossible for them to bear the separation from Lord Krishna. So we'll read the paragraph. Lord Krishna is so attractive for the living beings, especially for the devotees, that it is impossible for them to tolerate separation. The conditioned soul, under the spell of illusionary energy, forgets the Lord. Otherwise, he cannot. The feeling of such separation cannot be described, but it can be simply imagined by devotees only. After his separation from Vrindavan, and the innocent ruler cowherd boys, girls, ladies, and others, they all felt shock throughout their lives. And separation of Radharani, the most beloved cowherd girl, is beyond expression. Once they met at Kurukshetra during the solar eclipse, and the feeling which was expressed by them is heart-rending. There is, of course, a difference in qualities of transcendental devotees of the Lord, but none of them who have ever contacted the Lord by direct communication or otherwise can leave him for a moment. That is attitude of the pure devotee. 1 minute. I'm so sorry for disturbance. So here theme is that Krishna is entering into Dwarka. The chapter itself is departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. So when he left Hastinapur and he went to Dwarka, this is the condition of the all the devotees who are present there in Hastinapur. And Krishna left them and went to Dwarka. So they are feeling separation from Krishna and they all fainted. And we will go next. सत्संगान्मुक्तदु संगे हातुं नोत्सहते बुधः कार्त्यमानं यशो यस्य सकृदा कर्ण्यरोचनं तान् तास्मिन्यस्तत्यं पार्थ सहेरेण विरहं कथं दर्शनं स्पर्श सलाम सलाम शयनासन भोजनै. Anybody wants to read?
Yes, Mataji, may I read?
Yes, Prabhu, you can.
Okay.
Yeah. Next slaka you can read, Radhika.
No
The
problem.
intelligent who have understood the Supreme Lord in association with the pure devotees and have become freed from bad materialistic association can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though they have heard them only once. How then could the Pandavas tolerate his separation? For they have been intimately associated with his person, seeing him face to face, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping, sitting, and dining with him. Purport. The living being's constitutional position is one of serving a superior. He is obliged to serve by force the dictates of illusory material energy in different phases of sense gratification. And in serving the senses, he is never tired. Even though he may be tired, the illusory energy perpetually forces him to do so without being satisfied. There is no end to such sense gratificatory business, and the conditioned soul becomes entangled in such servitude without hope of release. The release is only effected by the association of pure devotees. By such association, one is gradually promoted to his transcendental consciousness. Thus, he can know that his eternal position is to render service unto the Lord and not to the perverted senses in the capacity of lust, anger, desire to lord over it, etc. Material society, friendship, and love are all different phases of the lust. Home, country, family, society, wealth, and all sorts of corollaries are all causes of bondage in the material world, where the threefold miseries of life are concomitant factors. By associating with pure devotees and by hearing them submissively, attachment for material enjoyment becomes slackened, and the attraction for hearing about the transcendental activities of the Lord becomes prominent. Once they will go on progressively without stoppage, like fire in gunpowder. It is said that Hari, the personality of Godhead, is so transcendentally attractive that even those who are self-satisfied by self-realization are factually liberated from all material bondage and also become devotees of the Lord. Under the circumstances, it is easily understood that what must have been the position of the Pandavas, who were constant companions of the Lord. They could not even think of separation from Sri Krishna, since the attraction was more intense for them because of continuous personal contact. His remembrance by his form, quality, name, fame, pastime, etc., is so attractive for the pure devotee, so much so that he forgets all form, quality, name, fame, and activities of the mundane world. And due to his mature association with pure duties, he is not out of contact with the Lord for a moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for reading. So here they explain that difference between a material person and a devotee. How devotee is attached to Lord and how uh, for a devotee everything comes there. Everything is centered around Lord only. So here it is they're saying home, country, family, society, the all sort of material bondage are there for material people, but for a devotee this everything is only Lord for them. So the difference between devotee and non-devotee is explained. How Pandavas are such a pure devotee, so that they cannot tolerate the uh, uh, what you call, they cannot tolerate even separation for Lord even for a second. सर्वे सर्वे ते निविशैर क्षेस्त मनु धृतचेतसः विक्षन्त स्नेह संबंधा विचेलुस्तत्र तत्र Yes, Radhika Dulari.
Thank you, Mother. All their hearts were melting for him on the pot of attraction. They looked at him without blinking their eye, and they moved hither and thither in perplexity. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna is naturally attractive for all living beings because he is the chief eternal amongst all eternals. He alone is the maintainer of the many eternals. This is stated in the Katha Upanishad, and thus one can obtain permanent peace and prosperity by revival of one's eternal relationship with Krishna. Now forgotten under the spell of Maya, the illusionary energy of the Lord. Once this relation is slightly revived, the conditioned soul at once become freed from the. Mataji, can you scroll down?
Yeah. Yeah.
Free from the illusion of material energy and becomes mad after the association of Lord. This association is made possibly not only by the personal contact with the Lord, but also by the association with his name, fame, form, and quality. Srimad Bhagavatam trains the conditioned soul to this stage at perfection by submissive hearing from the pure devotee.
So here, uh, so how they are attached to, like, especially Pandavas and their families, how much they are attached to Krishna, their attachment, they try to explain in the shloka. They look at him without blinking their eyes, and they move hither and hither in perfectly. So that much they are attached to Krishna. They are, they never miss even a moment to take association of Krishna. And here, very important point is that association is not only by personal contact, but association with name, fame, form, and quality. So it's not like Pandavas present at that time, so they got chance to associate with Krishna. We can also associate with Krishna each and every moment by name, fame, form, and quality. So this is the what you call way broad point of view to look at it. Association is not only personal thing, personal contact. The Krishna's association we can get with his name, fame, form, and quality. Also associating with the devotees. Yeah, that is what submissive hearing from the pure devotees. We can associate with Krishna all the time. Anybody wants to shloka?
May I, Mataji?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Fine.
नायरुद्धम् उद्गलद्बाष्पम् औत्कन्त्या देवकी सुते निर्याति अगारन्हु भद्राम् इति स्यात् बान्धवः स्त्रियः. Translation. The female relatives, whose eyes were flooded with tears out of anxiety for Krishna, came out of the palace. They could stop their tears only with great difficulty. They feared that tears would cause misfortune at the time of departure. Purport. There were hundreds of ladies in the palace of Hastinapura. All of them were affectionate to Krishna. All of them were relatives also. When they saw that Krishna was going away from the palace for his native place, they were very anxious for him, and as usual, tears began to roll down their cheeks. They thought at the same time that tears are at that moment might be the cause of misfortune for Krishna, therefore, they wanted to check them. This was very difficult for them because the tears could not be checked. Therefore, they smeared their tears in their eyes, and their hearts throbbed. Therefore, ladies who were the wives and the daughter-in-law of those who died in the battlefield never came in direct contact of Krishna, but all of them heard of him and his great activities, and thus they thought of him, talked of him, his name, fame, etc., and became affectionate also, like those who were in direct contact. Therefore, directly and indirectly, anyone who thinks of Krishna, talks of Krishna, or worship Krishna becomes attached to him. Because Krishna is absolute, there is no difference between his name, form, quality, etc. Our intimate relation with Krishna can be confidentially revived by our talking of, hearing of, or remembering him. It is done due to spiritual potency. Thank you.
So like in last look they explained, the association can't be personal always. So they gave example in the shloka. So the ladies of Hastinapura, they are, you know, they are crying in the separation. They cannot tolerate that Krishna is going. At the same time, they're controlling the tears. This is very, important thing to understand that ladies, if they cry when someone is leaving, it causes the misfortune. So they are very careful about that. That misfortune doesn't come, should not come on Krishna. Krishna should go with ease. In no, he should not face any difficulties in his travel or in his life. That's why they don't want to cause misfortune by this, their separation, their tears. So they are trying to control that, and they are never directly associated with Krishna, but they have here Krishna's activities, Krishna's pastime, and Krishna. They heard all these things from their relatives, and they are very much affectionate for Krishna, and very much, in love with Krishna. Not love with Vrindavan kind of love, but what you call in a devotion service, we can say. They are in that relationship with Krishna. So, see, our intimate relation with Krishna can be confidentially revived by talking of, hearing of, and remembering him. It's very important. So mainly the theme what I understand is, not necessary we get association of Krishna directly, but by talking of, hearing of, remembering him, we can associate with, and we can revive our intimate relation with Krishna. And that is only possible with the association of devotees by the mercy of the devotees. Okay, and it is done due to spiritual potency. And how we will get spiritual potency? By the blessings of senior devotees, by associating with them, by hearing them, by hearing from them, like that. Yeah. Anybody wants to read shloka?
I can read the purport and translation, but Mandaji, you
Can
can
I?
read the
Can
sloka.
I?
Yeah, go ahead. Who's that?
मृदङ्गाशङ्खभेर्यश्च वीणापनवगोमुखाः धुन्धूरी आनकाघण्टाद्य नेदुर्धुन्दुभ्यस्तथा. While the Lord was departing from the palace of Hastinapura, different types of drums like mridanga, dhola, nagra, dhundhuri, and dundubi, and the flutes of different types, the veena, gomuka, and bheri, all sounded together to show him honor.
Yeah. This is a little easy shloka. Radhika, you want to try?
My Sanskrit is very bad.
Okay.
Prasad. I will try, Mataji, but
Yeah, this is
Prasad Sikhar Rudh Kuru Naryo Dirdakasya Vavrushah Kushmalyah Krishnam Prema Vrida Samikteshanah.
nice try.
Out of out of a loving desire to see the Lord, the royal ladies of the Kurus got up on top of the palace and smiling with affection and shyness, they showered flowers upon the Lord. Shyness is a particular extra natural beauty of the fair sex, and it commands respect from the opposite sex. This custom was observed even during the days of the Mahabharata. More than 5,000 years ago, it is only the less intelligent person, not well versed in the history of the world, who says that the observance of separation of female from male is an introduction of the Mohammedan period in India. The incident from the Mahabharata period proves definitely that the ladies of the palace observe strict parda, restricted association with men. And instead of coming down in the open air where Lord Krishna and others were assembled, the ladies of the palace went up on the top of the palace and from there paid their respects to the Lord Krishna by showers of flowers. It is definitely, Madhuri, can you scroll down?
Yeah.
It is definitely stated here that the ladies were smiling there on the top of the palace, check, checked by shyness. This shyness is a gift of nature to the fair sex and it enhances their beauty and prestige. Even if they are of a less important family or even if they are less attractive. We have practical experience of this fact. A sweeper woman commanded the respect of many respectable gentlemen simply by manifesting a lady's shyness. Half-naked ladies in the street do not command any respect, but a shy sweeper wife commands respect from all. Human civilization, as convinced of by the sages of India, is to help one free himself from the clutches of illusion. The material beauty of a woman is an illusion because actually the body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, etc. But because there is an association of the living spark with matter, it appears to be beautiful. No one is attracted by an earthen doll, even if it is the most beautiful, most perfectly prepared to attract the attention of others. The dead body of no beauty because no one will accept the dead body of a so called beautiful woman. Therefore, the conclusion is that the spirit spark is beautiful, and because of the soul's beauty, one is attracted by the beauty of the outer body. Wow. The Vedic wisdom therefore forbids us to be attracted by false beauty. But because we are now in the darkness of ignorance, the Vedic civilization allows very restricted mixing of women and men. They say that the woman is considered to be the fire and the man is considered to be the butter. The butter must melt in the association with fire and therefore they may be brought together only when it is necessary. And shyness is a check of the unrestricted mixing. It is, scroll down, Madhuri. It is nature's gift and it must be utilized.
Very nice purport. First part of purport, Prabhupada is explaining how shyness is particular extra natural beauty of a woman, and in the very next purport, he explained that the beauty comes by spirit soul. It doesn't comes by the body. It doesn't comes by material body, earth, water, fire, air, ether. So very nicely explained by Prabhupada. Very good.
मतलब बहुत अच्छे से he is explaining that actually the beauty is Krishna only. We are part and parcel, so the beauty is coming from him only. We are just the reflection of it. Matter and spirit mixes. Very beautiful.
Anybody wants to read?
Can I read, Mataji?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. सीता आत सीता आतपत्रं जाग्राह मुक्तधामा विभूषितं रत्नादादां गुदा रत्नादादा गुदागेश प्रिया प्रियातमस्याः.
Nice try.
Translation. At that time, Arjuna, the great warrior and conqueror of sleep, who is the intimate friend of the most beloved Supreme Lord, took up an umbrella which had a handle of jewels and was embroidered with lace and pearls. Purport. Gold, jewels, pearls, and valuable stones were used in the luxurious royal ceremonies. They are all nature's gift and are produced by the hills, oceans, etc. By the order of the Lord, when man does not waste his valuable time in producing unwanted things in the name of necessities, by so called development of industrial enterprises, they are now using pots of Gutta Preja instead of metals like gold, silver, brass, and copper. They are using margarine instead of purified butter, and one fourth of the city population has no shelter.
Yes. So richness of the time Prabhupada is telling, like, and it's very significant why in the shloka Arjuna is called as Gudakesha. Here, Gudakesha. Arjuna is called Gudakesha, the conqueror of sleep, and he is a great warrior. And what do you think? Why in the shloka Arjuna is called as a Gudakesha? Why? What is the relation with the sleep here? Like he's conqueror of the sleep. What is the relation here in this shloka, in this translation, or what you understand? Anybody try? You can try. Anybody wants to say something about it?
Mataji is like to say that it like he conquered not wasting time. Like s- sleeping also considered a waste of time, right? So he conquered that also. That's my understanding of it.
Okay. Anybody? Mm-hmm. Anybody wants to try?
I just want to give a try, Mataji. So I am not sure. It's my speculation only. So what I was thinking that in war, so he used to take the sword in his hand, but now Arjuna is taking the umbrella out of love for Krishna. So it may be that I'm thinking that. So you can correct.
What is the relation with sleep, Pro?
Sleep that I warrior that I could relate with warrior word, but
Yeah.
sleep.
Negligence and ignorance.
Yeah. So the answer is in very next line. Who is intimate friend of the most beloved Supreme Lord? So he is very intimate with Krishna. So in that intimate relationship only you can it's conquering sleep. It's like conquering the material nature in one sense. So when you become very much intimate with Lord, you can conquer the material world. That is my understanding. I don't know. This also might be speculation. Mhm. Okay, please go ahead.
Beautiful, Mataji.
Married. Married Mataji.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
उद्धवस्यात्यकिश्चैव व्यजने परमाद्भुते विकीर्यमान कुसुमय रेजे मधुपति पथि. Translation. Uddhava and Satyaki began to fan the Lord with decorated fans, and the Lord, the master of Madhu, seated on scattered flowers, commanded them along the road. Thank you.
Yeah, you want to continue, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Mhm.
अश्रुयन्ताशिष सत्यास्तत्र तत्र तुजेरितः नानारूपानुरूपश्च निर्गुणस्य गुणात्मनः. Translation. It was being here, it was being heard here and there that the benedictions being paid to Krishna were neither befitting nor unbefitting because they were all for the Absolute, who was now playing the part of a human being. Purport. At places, there were sounds of Vedic benedictions aiming at the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. The benedictions were fitting in the sense that the Lord was playing the part of a human being, as if a cousin of Maharaj Yudhishthira. But they were also unfitting because the Lord is absolute and has nothing to do with any kind of material relatives. He is nirguna, or there is no material qualities in him, but is full of transcendental qualities. In the transcendental world, there is nothing contradictory, whereas in the relative world, everything has its opposite. In the relative world, while the opposite of conception of black, white is the opposite conception of the black, but in the transcendental world, there is no distinction between the white and black. Therefore, the sounds of benedictions uttered by the learned Brahmanas here and there appear to be contradictory in the relation with the absolute person, but when they are applied to the absolute person, they lose all contradiction and become transcendental. One example may clear this idea. Lord Sri Krishna is sometimes described as a thief. He is very famous amongst his pure devotees as Makhan Chora. He used to steal butter from the houses of the neighbors at Vrindavan in his early age. Since then, he is famous as a thief. But in spite of his being famous as a thief, he is worshipped as a thief, whereas in the mundane world, a thief is punished and never praised. Since he is the absolute personality of Godhead, everything is applicable to him, and still, in spite of all the contradictions, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So it's like Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva explained in this shloka. Like Brahmanas are, giving benedictions to the Krishna. Like here in South India or in any place, you must have observed there will be Ashirvachanam thing will be there. Like whoever is the Yajman or the main person, they are asked them to sit at one place, and all the learned Brahmanas, they will chant some mantras and they will bless that person. So here Brahmanas and all the, elderly persons, they are uh, giving benedictions to the Krishna. But at the same time, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He don't need anybody's benedictions. But this thing is called Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva. Like Krishna is playing the part of human being, and Krishna is playing part of cousins of Pandavas, and he is taking blessings from all the elderly persons. At the same time, he's supreme personality of Godhead. No one can bless him like everyone has to take his blessings. So, but still, it is um, see. The benedictions being paid to Krishna were neither befitting nor unfitting, because they were all for the absolute. So whatever it is done for Krishna, it is that is absolute. That can't be wrong. Like Krishna, whatever he does, it can't be wrong because he is absolute. And one more thing is that the word absolute or the word Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, like if someone is God, it never happens that he does not have that thing. Like if God doesn't have something, that we cannot call him God. So that's why he should take blessings from others also. That's how he will become God. He is blessing and he's taking blessings from others also. Because if Krishna is lacking something, he cannot become God. So everything should be there. So this is how we can understand.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please go ahead.
अन्योन्यम् आसीत् सञ्जल्प उत्तम श्लोकचेतसाम् कौरवेन्द्रपुरश्रीणां सर्वश्रुतिमनोबर्हरा. The ladies on the roofs of all the houses of Hastinapur, who were all absorbed in the thoughts of transcendental qualities of the Lord, who is sung in select poetry, began to talk of him. This talk was more attractive than the humans of Vedas.
Hare
Purport.
Krishna. I'm so sorry. We are at shloka number 20.
Yes, Mataji.
You read the shloka correct. Actually, here translation is different. I'm on the Veda base.
Actually, I'm reading from book.
Book, okay. Same thing is there. The wording is different. Yeah, same thing is there. Yeah, you can read from the book. It should be matched.
Should I read from the book?
Yeah. Once again, you can read the translation. Here, just wordings are here and there, but the same thing is there.
Okay, Mataji. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that in all the Vedic literature, the goal is the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna. Actually, the glories of the Lord are depicted in such literature as the Vedas, Ramayana, and Mahabharata, and in the Bhagavatam they are specifically mentioned in respect to the Supreme Lord. Therefore, while the ladies on the tops of the houses in the capital of the king of the Kuru dynasty were talking about the Lord, they were more pleased than the Vedic humans. Anything sang in the praise of the Lord is Shruti mantra. There are songs of Thakur Narottam Das, one of the Acharya in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, composed in simple Bengali language, but Thakur Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, another very learned Acharya of the same Sampradaya, has approved the song by Thakur Narottam Das to be as good as Vedic mantras, and this is so because of the subject matter. The language is immaterial, but the subject matter is important. The ladies who were all absorbed in the thought and action of the Lord developed the consciousness of Vedic wisdom by grace of the Lord. And therefore, although such ladies might not have been very learned scholars in Sanskrit or otherwise, still, whatever they spoke was more attractive than the Vedic humans. The Vedic humans in the Upanishad are sometimes indirectly directed to the Supreme Lord, but the talks of the ladies are directly spoken of the Lord, and thus they were more pleasing to the heart. The ladies' talks appear to be more valuable than the learned Brahmanas' benedictions.
Thank you so much. So, here, Brahmanas are, they're giving benedictions to the Krishna, and the ladies, they're singing on the roof of the palaces. But the singing of the ladies is more pleasing, like more pleasing to the heart of Krishna. So, how important it is to develop the power. Like when you have a more love for Krishna, your imperfect things also will be pleasing to the him. The love for Krishna is most important. Like that is what I understood. Mhm. This will be last shloka. Anybody wants to read last shloka?
Yes, I want to.
Yeah.
Mataji, I would like to see the synonyms also.
Okay.
Yeah. Shavaye kila ayam purusha puranatam ya ekah ashit aveshah आत्मानि आग्रहे गुणेभ्यः जगत् आत्मानि ईश्वरे निमिलितः आत्मानं निशिस्फुत शक्तिषु. A translation. They said, here he is, the original personality of Godhead, as we definitely remember him. He alone existed before the manifested creation of the modes of nature, and in him only, because he is the Supreme Lord, all living beings merge as if sleeping at night, their energy suspended. Purport. There are two types of dissolution of the manifested cosmos. At the end of every 4 lakh 3 something solar years, when Brahma, the lord of one particular universe, goes to sleep, there is one annihilation. And at the end of the Lord Brahma's life, which takes place at the end of Brahma's 100 years of age, in our calculation at the end of, I will have to, yeah, solar years, there is complete annihilation of entire universe. And in both the periods, both the material energy called the Mahatattva and the marginal energy called Jiva Tattva merge in the person of the Supreme Lord. The living beings remain asleep within the body of the Lord until there is another creation of the material world. And that is the way of the creation, maintenance and annihilation of the material manifestation. The material creation is affected by the interaction of the three modes of material nature set in action by the Lord. And therefore, it is said here that the Lord existed before the modes of material nature were set in motion. In the Shruti mantra, it is said that only Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, existed before the creation, and there was no Brahma, Shiva, or other demigods. Vishnu means the Mahavishnu who is lying on the causal ocean. By his breathing, only all the universes are generated in seeds and gradually develop into gigantic forms with innumerable planets within each and every universe. The seeds of the universe develop into gigantic forms in the way of seeds of a banyan tree and develop into numberless banyan trees. This Mahavishnu is the plenary portion of the Lord Krishna, who is mentioned in the Brahma Samhita 5.48 as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the original personality of Godhead Govinda, whose plenary portion is the Mahavishnu. All the Brahmas, the heads of the universes, live only for the period of his exhaling after the universes are generated from the pores of his transcendental body. Thus, do I need to pause?
No, continue. We'll finish this purport and we'll stop.
Yeah, okay. Thus, Govinda, O Lord Krishna, is the cause of Mahavishnu also. The lady is talking about this Vedic truth, must have heard it from the authoritative sources. An authoritative source is the only means of knowing about transcendental subject matter definitely. There is no alternative. The merging of the living beings into the body of Mahavishnu takes place automatically at the end of Brahma's 100 years. But that does not mean that the individual living being loses his identity. The identity is there, and as soon as there is another creation by the supreme will of the Lord, all the sleeping, inactive living beings are again let loose to begin their activities in the continuation of past different spheres of life. It is called Utotita Nyaya, or awakening from sleep and aging again, engaging in one's respective continuous duty. When a man is asleep at night, he forgets himself. When he is what his duty is, and everything of his waking state. But as soon as he awakes from slumber, he remembers all that he has to do and thus engage himself again in his prescribed activities. The living beings also remain merged in the body of Mahavishnu during the period of annihilation. But as soon as there is another creation, they arise to take up their unfinished work. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 8.18-19. The Lord existed before the creative energy was set in action. The Lord is not a product of material energy. His body is completely spiritual, and there is no difference between his body and himself. Before creation, the Lord remained in his abode, which is absolute and one.
Thank you so much. So here all the creation is explained. So we all know this creation from how Mahavishnu, when he breathes, everything comes out. When he breathes in, everything goes in. So all this creation is explained here. So we'll stop here. Anybody wants to say something?
Actually, many times this example in books also we read, no, Mataji, a sweeper woman commands respects when she is maintain her own standards of dignity.
Yeah.
So this you know from where Prabhupada quotes?
Yeah, now we know from where he is quoting that. Yeah.
In actual Prabhupada in lecture he says when he and his friend he went to his friend's home for reading. So one friend whom like he goes to his friend's home. So there they both sit near the entrance. So they were reading, and suddenly that one sweep the bhai comes. So she's so very strict in her no look not to see others, and in every very traditionally she's there. So immediately they gave a way out of respect. They both no got separated. तो उधर गए प्रभुपाद ने एक साइड गए उनका फ्रेंड एक साइड चले गए तब she went inside. So Prabhupada quotes that. So this in the lecture Prabhupada quotes this. Many times in books also we read this. And that time only I was able to share. Oh, but I couldn't share the flow. Mrs. Ulke में चुपचाप हो गया.
Thank you so much for sharing this, Prabhupada Master. Anybody wants to say something or share something?
I was thinking few days ago that I should start reading Bhagavatam. It is very important. Everyone is referring to Bhagavatam wherever we are reading something. So thank you so much, Mataji, for initiating this and helping all of us to read Bhagavatam. I am very grateful for it. Thank you.
So thanks to all of you to participate, and it's actually Prabhu's idea to start. Today he's having Rath Yatra meeting, temple Rath Yatra meeting. So he's supposed to be here. He's supposed to be doing all these things. I'm not at all good at Bhagavatam and explaining it. I just okay, let me give it a try because he is not available. Service should go ahead. Service should
He's training you.
No, no difference.
Yeah.
I'm
We were reading few days ago. It was mentioned that reading books is like training spiritual leaders. So he's training you through Bhagavatam.
Yeah, you can see the amount of books behind her.
yeah, this is our library. This is whole thing is our library.
She's showing it कि अभी ये पढ़ने के बाद ये सब पढ़ना पड़ेगा.
Yeah, we can read it one by one. Yeah, thank you so much, all of you, for joining. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for taking out time and coming together and reading. This is what Prabhupada wants from us to read, to read and understand the Bhagavatam and all the books given by him. And this is also, I think, Gurudev also wants from us to read and get, scholar in each and everything. So let us try to fulfill their desires by giving our 45 minutes every day. So see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhaya vacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta-koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.